If the issue is oxygenation, as we discussed, we'd love it to be between 75 and 100. If we have to see it drop, we definitely want to keep it above 60. And that goes back to our O2 dissociation curve, which we're not going to get into here, but those of you who are interested can certainly research the O2 dissociation curve. Now, we want to increase our FiO2, but we'd like to keep it below 60%. And in my experience, I've rarely seen any improvement between putting a patient on 60% FiO2 and putting a patient anything above 60. Between that 60 to 100 is not all that helpful. And looking back at the O2 dissociation curve, there are explanations as to why that is. But if we can't get a patient oxygenated properly and preferably using the FiO2, that's what we're going to call upon our PEEP. Now, we discussed the initiation of PEEP. We've discussed how important it is that we do it very gradually. We've discussed that there's a possibility of cutting out the patient's cardiac output, and we've also discussed that the amount of PEEP a patient could tolerate yesterday may not be the amount of PEEP that he or she can tolerate today. Now we're going to keep monitoring these blood gases, and again, once we know that if the patient is saturating 94, his or her PO2 is roughly 64, then we know that we've got that 30 or so point difference. It's the rule of 30s, and it's something that's going to be very useful. But we do want to keep that saturation in an area that we know that our PO2 is at least above 60, preferably between that 75 and 100.